Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys are doing great. I know a long time no hear from, but like I told you a couple weeks ago, I'm taking a break from doing the daily recap videos. I'm enjoying this Christmas holiday. I'm working on trying to do some different things with the videos when I start them back. Um, the goal is to start this the 1st of January, but toward the end of December, if I've got everything in place, I'm going to try and do some dry runs on them to kind of get some feedback. But right now, I'm just chilling out, maxing and relaxing, enjoying this Christmas holiday. And I think after the year that we all have had dealing with this pandemic, I think this is um, the best thing for us. All right, so what I want to share with you today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know this, but there's nothing in life that will kick you in the ass harder than this market will. Let me say it again. There's nothing in this life that will kick you in the ass harder than this market will. All right. I know we're always going to face adversity. As traders, it's just part of what we do. But in the beginning, as a new trader, you go through a lot more of it. You spend the first couple of years going through this and experiencing all of these different situations that the market will put you in, all of these different storms, and you learn how to come out of them. So there's no way to avoid it. So that's why in the roadmap to success, that's why I say that exercise is invaluable. That simple exercise. But I guarantee, I can tell you right now, only 20% of members even make it through it to where it really helps them. And that's a shame, because that cuts down your learning process. This whole roadmap to success program is designed to shorten your learning curve, so that you're not spending years trying to get everything that you need. You're getting it right now. You're experiencing what you're going to be experiencing and learning how to deal with it before you even get started. And for me, that's the best way to learn. That's the best way to be prepared. But just to share, kind of get my point across here, when a herd of cows sense a storm coming, they haul ass in the opposite direction, trying to get away from it. But the reality is, they can't outrun the storm, just like we can. And eventually the storm catches up to them. It wreaks havoc on them. And they spend a lot more time in the storm than they would have if they had just stood still. Now, when you look at a herd of buffalo, they attack it a little bit differently. When they sense the storm coming, they run into the storm. And by heading into the storm, they attack it and they spend less time in it. They actually spend less time in it. They get beat up a lot less, and they come out, a little bit better than the cows do on the other side. So as traders, we have two choices. We can run with the herd of cow and run away from every problem we run into in the market, and talk about quitting every day. Or we can be the buffalo and we can attack that storm. We go head first into it. We learn what we need to learn. We understand how to deal with those storms, and then we get out of it. And we get out of it with less damage. So we've got to stop running from all of the obstacles that this market puts in our way. We have to run toward the opportunities that this market gives us. Unlimited opportunity. unlimited. But you all know, if you've been in this market long enough, it doesn't matter what strategy you have. It doesn't matter what chat room you're in. Doesn't matter what books you read. If you can't trade, if you can't execute in the market, you're going to get crushed. You have to be able to execute. And in order to execute, you can't run from the storms. You have to be ready to go through it. You know, you can't run from the education. You can't run from learning. You know, you have to run toward the chance that learning is giving you to grow. You can't run from fear of judgment. You got to run. You have to run toward the value of being different, being independent. Because like I said, you can learn the strategies that I teach, but how you execute it is 100% unique to you. How you see it setting up. You know, we look at charts like we all look at art. Everybody's going to see something different. And we're going to have to understand how to interpret what we're seeing and relate it to the strategy. And that's a intimate and individual thing. So just know, this is what we're dealing with. And you really need somebody that's going to be there to help you, that's been through it, that's been in the same position you've been in. Now, that's why I'm going to continue to focus on helping you grow your smaller accounts. That's what these strategies and the mindset is. You know, once you get all of this experience, you get years of experience under your belt, you have a really nice account, then you can trade some of these intuitive strategies. You know, I've introduced some of them to you, but you've got to have the account and you've got to have the experience. If you don't have either, if you're underfunded and you don't have the process, it's not going to end pretty. All right, so let's talk about the market today. Now, we talked a little bit about this Sunday in our market analysis session. We're going through what we call market distribution. And, you know, it's kind of a bad word throughout this industry. But just to put it simply, what's happening is, and we see it happen every day, where the market kind of has reached the top, it pulled back, and it's holding. We haven't really gotten a definitive pullback, but it's kind of holding support. And every day we're seeing the market either open strong and make a big move up and show all its strength, and then it, you know, goes, well, we say it comes in like a lion and it goes out like a lamb. That's basically what it does. And then there are days where it comes in like a lamb and goes out like a lion. We're seeing the bulls in charge and the bears be in charge all in the same day. And it's choppiness. And it's not giving traders like me the opportunity that I like to have in the market. You know, I like stocks that trend and that give pretty big moves. There's always going to be opportunities. The question is, are we going to be in the right stock at the right time? Are we going to see it? And that's kind of, you know, the frustration that we have. But the thing is, throughout this whole deal, how you trade this market distribution is just to be patient and allow the stocks to fall into your process. Let it fall into your strategy. And we're going to have to shorten up our profit targets. You're either going to have to, scalping works great. But if you're not into really scalping and you have a hard time bringing your profit targets in, like me, it makes it a little difficult to trade. Now, it's been a struggle for the last couple of weeks for me, but I'm not red, but I'm not making the money that I want to make. And it gets frustrating. It's one of the storms that we're having to go through. And it's a lot of stuff that's reacting to the market. I'm not going to talk all about it now. If you want to go back to the market analysis and swing session that we did on Sunday, it's on the website. Just go to the swing trade page and it's right there, first thing. So I'm not going to talk about all of the issues that we're dealing with, but that's kind of what market distribution is. And that's why we have to be patient. And when we mess up and we end up red on the day, fine. There's another day. There's another day coming. And we just have to be ready for it. If we continue to bring on what we've dealt with in the past, it's not going to work. So let's look at what we did today. Oh, before we get into this, the Roadmap to Success membership, if you want to get that, I do have some openings. I only keep 150 active members in the community. I cut it off at 150 because I don't want to have too many. I want to be able to work with everybody that actually wants to work with me. But if you join now, the clock won't start till January 1st. So you'll have a couple of weeks head start where you can go through, kind of get your feet wet, get everything in place so you can hit 2021 running. All right, so I've added a lot of stuff here in the last couple of months. 2021 is going to be unique as well. We're going to be changing up even the videos, things I'm adding. So if you want to be ready, come join us. Like I said, the clock's not going to start till January 1st. You get a couple of extra weeks in to get yourself ready to go. But if you think about it, it's probably the best deal you're going to get. It comes out to about $41 a month. So you just pay $249 up front and you're done. So you get to watch me actually trade live. The strategies that I teach you, I trade in my account every day. And I've been using my TD Ameritrade account. And it's been doing pretty good. So we're having a lot of fun. But if you have any questions about it, just email me, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com, and I'll take it from there. All right, so you see the SPY. You can see where we made the big run up. We pulled back, and we've kind of held this support in through here. Now, this is yesterday's close, so this isn't a level. This is yesterday's close price. But it actually closed kind of around the level that we've been holding. And you can see we had a gap up today. We had a little sell-off, and we had some weakness, and then we ended in some strength. So, who knows? Tomorrow we may wake up to a gap now. We don't know. Or maybe we're finally getting out of this distribution cycle, which typically lasts about a week. So we may be getting out of it and making another run for all-time highs again. That's going to be, something that we could look at. But the scare that the market was going to sell off once Joe Biden was officially named president-elect, which happened yesterday, there's no big sell-off. There's no market dump. Everybody is optimistic. So we'll be looking to see, if we're going to take out the highs here. We're going to make new highs tomorrow, start making that run up. It'll be nice. it really helped our swing trades, which we're going to look at in a minute. But all in all, it looks pretty good, at least right now. We'll see 6 o'clock in the morning where we're at. All right, so ZS, this was This was the first trade. This was an opening range breakout I was looking to take. I got in, it moved up a little bit, then the bottom fell out, hit my max loss, took me out of the trade. And look, the next candle with it, all of these wicks just turned me against watching the stock. Okay, that's why I didn't have it on watch anymore. I was watching it on this candle, I watched it on this candle, and then I just said shit on it, because this isn't tradable price action. This is just huge chop. And I didn't want to get in again and then get chopped out. Well, after I said that, I guess it realized I wasn't watching it anymore, and it put in the best move of the morning. This would have been an incredible trade. But this is what happens, and these are the things that you can see. You see what happens when the market's in this distribution phase. You see a lot of this. Now, this happens every day, but you see more of it. So that happened with PLUG. And then ZS, this was an accident, really. It was an accident waiting to happen, so to speak. If you look at, let's see. Here is the channel that I was looking at here. Right in here. This was the bottom of the channel. Well, you see it. This was the bottom of the channel here. So once this bounced, it rejected. It made a lower high. Here we're making a lower low coming through. And so what I was going to do was wait for confirmation. That was the idea. But I bumped my mouse. I've got one of these gaming mouses that has all these damn buttons on the side of it. And so I tend to butt the mouse against my keyboard sometimes. And that's what happened. I got in, but then too, it wasn't a whole lot of volume. You'll see, let me move this. You see, there wasn't a whole lot of volume here. It really wasn't a trade that I was willing to take unless we confirmed and we had enough volume. But unfortunately, I got in and I said, well, since I'm in, I might as well give it a shot. And, I thought we were going to reject here, but we didn't. This thing took off and I ended up having to stop out. But then look what happened afterwards. It made the damn move. Just like this from this morning. I mean, this is the frustrating part about when the market is in this cycle. These are the things that we deal with a lot. Now, you're going to get stocks that make really good moves. But I hit 633.20 loss today. That's right around, where the max I would want to lose per day. Really, I would want it to be closer to 400 or 500, but it is what it is. But I had an opportunity that I was looking at. Now, if you were in chat after lunch, you saw me bring this chart up and mark the channel here. Once we sold through the 5-minute opening range low from this morning, I wait for a confirmation of claiming this level. The 5-minute opening range low and opening range high, we have seen, and I proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, that these levels get reacted on throughout the day. If it trades around it. Sometimes it breaks through it and it never looks back. But oftentimes we get this type of action, and this reacts as support or resistance. So here I waited for it to claim it. I turned my head. I walked away for a minute. I came back and we were gone. It was too late for me to get in. This would have been a beautiful trade. If I got in around 322.50, this thing went through 319.50. No, 3 points. I might not have made all the money back, but it at least would have taken half of the dent out of my account. Half or either 2/3. And I wouldn't have ended up as red. But these are opportunities that you see. These opportunities happen, but you just have to make sure that you're engaged and you're focused. I wasn't. I was doing other stuff and missed it. So the opportunities are there. I'm showing you this because I want you to see that the opportunities are there. All right, so here's another stock that was on our watch list this morning. Here's the opening range high. Nice opening range breakout. We pulled back. Here's that 5-minute opening range level that I was telling you about. It held as support. It reacts all day. It will react on this. And it bounced. We had a nice move inside this channel. Once it broke this channel, it did make a little move up. But these are the smaller moves that usually happens when the market is in this cycle. We don't get the explosive breakout moves that we tend to see. So this is, one of those that was really good. And one of the things that we were looking at this morning, now, I did this class last week. If you want to go back and check the class out, then you go back and check it out when we talked about channels. And we talked about how I use option flow to help me. This is just another piece of evidence to help give me confidence in my edge. So we look at Apple. Look at all the option flow that went through on Apple today. This is unfreaking real. 100% bullish. 100% bullish. Look at the flow on this. This was, you did have some guy do 126 December 18th puts. Here's 120, but basically 100% bullish on this. And we saw this yesterday on Apple. We saw this early this morning. So a couple people who took that, they took it for a swing trade because we had this on our swing, part of our swing watch as well. They used this information to help them take that swing trade, and it's been good. But if you want to go back to that video, it's on the members video page. It's in the roadmap to success. It talks about the channels and how we use this information. The 60-minute chart, how I use it to help determine which stocks I'm going to trade. But the point I'm making is the opportunities are there. We just have to stay engaged, and then, we take it from there. All right, so we can look at the swing trades. ZG, man, I took ZG off at the end of the day yesterday at 129. 130 was my target. But I'm like, I convinced myself that after this move, we were going to gap down today. We didn't. We gapped up over 130. And look at this thing ran all day. This was a huge, a huge miss for me. If I had just waited and said, okay, no, we're not at 130. let's wait till 1/3. Let's see if we get it tomorrow. I could have said, okay, if we open down tomorrow, I can just take it off. I didn't do that. I made this decision, so I paid for it today. This was really good. But the good thing is we made $5,300 off of it. So I can't cry too bad. I just know this could have been another $8 to $10,000 trade if I had maximized this. But it is what it is, and we move on. PTON, this was the stupid trade I took, but it barely held on. Was able to hang on to it. It almost took me out here, but it held on. We never lost that 20, and I was able to take profit yesterday on it. We took profit again today at 127.50. We'll look at that here in a minute. Took profit on that today. Let me get the. And so we're doing pretty good on it. We locked in 22.45.20 yesterday. We'll look at what we locked in today. And then SQ, I added back to it yesterday according to plan. Here, I took some off at 220, but I wasn't in full size. I was never in full size on this, so I only took 100 shares off. And we got the big pullback. And so I just kind of had to reset. We're still holding the 20. And, we did make a new 52-week high today. I think we did today. I'm not sure. I think we did today. We came within $1 of me hitting my next target. But that's fine. We're in full size now. I've got a decent average at 215. There's some serious support at 215 that's holding. So I'm going to use that as my guide on this. If we lose 215, then I'm going to bail out of the trade. That is, just make it simple. And the last trade I got in was MMM. This one didn't do so well. We got in yesterday. I top ticked it, basically, when I got in. It triggered an entry at the open. I got in, and it sold off all day. And then this morning, we opened with a gap up. It ended up selling off, and then it got bought right back up. My stop on this is just under 172. So, obviously, I'm looking for 180 as my first target, or the 52-week high. That's the only thing that'll make this trade make sense. So we'll see where we are tomorrow. I'm hoping it did pick up after the close. It does look pretty decent right now, but we'll see. But we did have a couple of other stocks on watch that a lot of members took. Some got chewy. This is what I tweeted out. Now, for all you members, if you're on the member Twitter feed, I tweet my swing watch list out and the trade plans. What the entry trigger is, what the profit targets are, and what the stop trigger is. Again, you have to be able to execute it. Just because I tell you when to get in and tell you where the targets are and tell you where the stop is, doesn't mean you're going to make money on it. There are a lot of guys that's already dumped MMM. They already dumped it. So if I make money on it, they're going to be mad at me. But the thing is, you've got to execute. You got to learn how to execute. But I send this out. All of my stocks, they're on my watch. I send out the watch list. There's no way I can trade each one. So you have to pick the one that you like the best. Maybe in your price range. Maybe fit your eye a lot better. Maybe your in your risk parameter. So I'm pretty sure this can get to 100. But this didn't trigger on Monday. If you look at today, it didn't trigger yesterday. It triggered today. And this was a 7-point run, at least. This thing almost hit 90 if it didn't hit 90. I took this snapshot before the market closed. But you can see these trades are actionable if you learn the strategy and you know how to execute the trade plan. So that's it. I'm gonna look at now. Let's look at we're gonna look at. Hold on. We're gonna look at PTON, see how much we locked in today. $11.50. That's not bad. $11.49.96. I didn't lock in as much as I wanted to, but that puts us over the 3,000 range for that trade. So not bad. Not bad at all. And then here's the daily chart on PTON. So we're doing pretty good on it. Let me see. Where's MMM now? I was looking at that. Let's see. Well, it did pull back a little bit. We were running, but we'll see what tomorrow brings, and see if we can kick this pig. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it for me today. I guess I made up for lost time by doing a longer video, but that's gonna hold me for another week or so. But you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you tomorrow.